another video for Auto Solutions Checkpoint, and today I'm going to hopefully pick up a big mistake that I've just made. One of my pals contacted me when I was on holiday. He says, I've got two transits here, one's a flatbed crew cab and the other one's a welfare van. His welfare van isn't running, it's undiagnosed, I don't know what it is. It's a 2010. Basically when you turn the key round, it's not even trying to start, it's not even engaging the starter or nothing. It says there was a burning smell before it conked out on the motorway, and apparently previously, just before it was put for the MOT, somebody was doing wiring on the back light. Don't know whether it's an electrical fault that has caused this. He was wanting stupid money for the both of them, especially the welfare van. It wasn't running, he was wanting a ridiculous amount of money for it. I said to him, there's no way in a million years I'm parting with that kind of cash for something that isn't running that could potentially need an engine or severe electrical work done to it. Left it at that. And I was going to message him the next day just with an offer for the power of them, because the other one's a 14 plate crew cab. But I decided not to this morning. I'm sitting having my coffee and I phoned. You don't hear from him unless he's wanting something, could be selling something. That's the only time you'll hear from him. He's asking about the transit. He just said, look, you want to actually go and make an offer on it. And I was like, right, well, I was actually going to message you with my offer for the power of them, but I decided not to because I knew that he would reject it. And then I said to him what the offer was, and lo and behold, he accepted the offer for both of them. Now the 14 plate flatbed, it's solid, seems alright. I haven't actually driven it, that's the concerning thing. I'm kind of taking the risk on the both of them, and I'm trying to get bits from an A-frame. I'll not be able to put that welfare van on the trailer. So I've got my old A-frame out of one of the containers, but it's missing the dolly straps. Hopefully, fingers crossed, I'm outside a place called Arundel, and hopefully I'm able to get the straps that I need for this, and then I'm going to contact my mate and ask him if I can try and take one of them away. The flatbed I'll not be able to get till Monday because I've another holiday coming up. So, right. Okay, so good news, that Arundel, it was open. And they were really pleasant. Everyone I dealt with, quite happy, chatty people. I said to them about my requirements. I needed the strap for the A-frame. They didn't have anything, but they said they could order it in. I'm instantly thinking, right, well, I don't really have time to order it in. I want to really be getting the straps now so that I can go and collect that welfare van. So I just said to them, like, really, ideally I'm needing them a day. Whenever I was like, look, I'll give you a shout if I don't get sorted with some. And they're like, no, we actually make them, so we'll need to put an order in. Said we can have them for you in 20 minutes. I'm like, you kidding me on? And that's custom to my specifications. I got them to make them 2 metres long. And we have chain link on it, on the end of it, 50mm thick. So as you can see here, I got them to make me 4 of them, and it just came to just under £30. Obviously there's VAT on everything, but it was very good value for money, especially at such short notice. And I discovered they are also tensies, so any of you that are in the recovery game know that they make straps. Lo and behold, it's that place, and it turns out I've actually been buying from them for years because I buy the straps off eBay and Amazon, and it turns out it's just up the road, you know. So all these times I've been waiting for straps arriving and whatever, I could have just got in the car and drove on. Now fair enough, they're a wee bit more expensive going directly into them than they are online, because they need to be competitive online, but see, for the convenience, it's money well spent, and I will highly recommend them. So that's Arundel, as you can see on the invoice here. For me that's great, and I'm also waiting on them getting back to me with a quote for synthetic rope for the winch. Now, I've already went and I've picked up this welfare van. I'll take you to have a look right now. Here we go, it's a 2010 Ford Transit welfare van. Like, aye, it's got a wee bit of rust around it, dings and whatever, but it is in good shape for the shape that she's in. A wee ding here, this is where you fill the water up as well. High roof one, pretty good. you've got the welfare bit in the back. Now, see, the funny thing is, right, see the way this is all worn? I could actually get that looking really nice with a strong vinyl wrap. And it's got the overhead space in that as well. Got a microwave, and it's got hot water as well, and a little sink here. You can put your hand towels and that in there as well. But aye, it's very well equipped. This here must be for the heating. But aye, decent enough. So we've got 5 seats in the back and 3 in the front. And see, to be honest, it's not in the worst of nick, to be honest, inside. You know, a great wee day van. All the paneling is quite nice too. It seems decent enough. There's a little switchboard here. Must be for like the lights and bits and pieces. So like a wee secret compartment down there. The towing capacity on this, I think, would be 3.5 tonne. So we need to actually see about the. We need to know what the weight restrictions are on it and see where we'll go from there. Because I could put my tools inside this, and there could be my mobile mechanic unit, which means I can retire the L200. But I don't really want to be going back to an old Transit. I feel that this is a better image for the business, to be honest. So I need to see what happens. It is solid. I've had a look underneath, and it's got the toolbar for industrial. It's got the cassette for the toilet. I would say I'm quite happy with that, because this will clean up really good. It would actually make a good van to take along to an event. Maybe get the high vis for the back doors, maybe kit it out more for brickies. I reckon there'll be a good market for this, so we'll just need to play it by ear. Now what the problem is with this here is when you turn the key round, nothing happens. You try and start it, nothing happens. You can hear the little relay going underneath. I've tested all the mega fuses underneath the seat, and all of them are getting powered. There's a hidden fuse box in behind here, behind the main fuse box. In behind that there's a hidden fuse box. I've tested them, and the fuse box and relays onto the bonnet. I've tested that to see if there's power getting to it, and there's power getting to everything, so I can't understand why we're not getting a good connection. Now here we are, so crash input, missing communication with restraint control module, missing communication with powertrain control module, that's anti-theft key system. Now this here wasn't on it whenever I checked it the last time, so these seem to be different codes, to be honest. Missing communication with body control module. Right, so now I've got a video of these. I'm going to delete them. So I think I've got to the bottom of the problem with the little welfare van. Whenever I got it home, I got a bit more investigation done, and I've discovered on the starter motor that there is an actual wire that runs from the solenoid into the starter motor itself, has actually broke off. It's been arcing and doesn't look too healthy at all. So I need to know. I think maybe it's caused that. What are you doing? You cheeky swine. I need to find out what caused that, to do that. Whether it was the starter motor itself that was failing. The people that I got it from says that it broke down on the motorway. So I don't know if that would merit breaking down. Would that would cause it to break down? I think it's maybe just arced against it and surged through the vehicle maybe. I don't know. So I'll just show you what's failed on it. And I've also got another starter motor that had failed on a previous Transit. So I just went down to have a look at that to see if I can maybe figure about with them and get them both. Like, if we can make one work out of the both of them, I'll be quite happy. So we'll see what happens with it. But this is it. Okay, so this is the one that came out of it. And what's happened here is the wee connector has snapped, but you can see there's evidence here that it's burnt. So find the plastic as well. This other one, this was replaced because this ear bit broke. I don't know how that had happened. So obviously it was a customer that brought the car to me. I think maybe it went to take it off for some reason, broke it, and it's been arcing against something. So what I plan to do is take this off and see if I can access in behind that and maybe replace the wire that runs into here. So can I use that a little bit?
Okay.
Good. Now it sounds like a plan. We'll just roll with it then?
Yeah.
Right, cool. After persevering for about 30 minutes with the two starter motors, I discovered that the bit that I was trying to take from the other starter motor, which is like a brush ring, so it's like the brushes on a ring, I was hoping that would have been compatible with the other starter motor, but it was just slightly too big. It would have done if it had been the right size, so I just gave up on it and decided to bite the bullet and just go and buy a brand new starter. The engine could be a complete bomb scare and I've just wasted that money on a starter motor, but that's the risk we take in this trade. I just reckon that van would be a decent earner if it was running right, regardless of the mileage. Like, it's pushing on nearly 300,000 miles and it's decent enough condition. It just needs a wee bit of a spruce up, so I'm just heading back right now to fit the starter motor. And typical Scottish weather, not knowing what it's going to do. It was absolutely lashing down. Now the sun's out, but it's still spitting as well, so this is what we're up against. Plus today I'm supposed to be off. I'm actually taking the family away for the weekend in our caravan, and that's not till the afternoon, so I can fit this in just beforehand because I'm eager to find out if I can get it running before I go on holiday. Both the kids love the van as well. I told them last night, I'm like, Daddy's going to be selling this. My wee son Nathan, he's only 3, he's like, Daddy, don't sell it, don't sell it. They don't want to keep it, want to keep it. So, aye, they didn't take it too well, and I'm ruthless. At the end of the day, if it needs to go, it needs to go, because that's how I make my pennies. Well, at the moment, it's not looking too likely. Starter motor, yeah, is spec. We put the new one on. Battery, well, it was just clicking whenever I turned the key round, so the solenoid was kicking in no problem. So what I've done is put the jump leads on it, and it is trying to turn over. It's just not enough. Got this transit running, and I have a funny feeling it's been hydrolocked or something. It doesn't sound good, but it's running. So guys, how smoky is your transit? Because mine's is smoky as feck. Yeah, it doesn't smell too good at all. It don't smell too good, and it don't sound too good. So after taking it out a blast, and I just parked it up in an industrial estate just till I can decide what's what with it. That means it's out of my street. It's only in my street because it's not running. So it's running at the moment. It actually cut out on me and it was hard to start, but I was on a bit of a hill, so I just bump started it, got it going again, and left it in that industrial estate. Sounds like a chip pan inside that exhaust with the oil going through it. Now that could be a number of things. It could be a cracked piston, turbo, injector. By the looks of that, I think you're a cracked piston. But it's running. So I'm just trying to think of the positives here. It's running. I've got something to play with now. So I decided to take today off, spend time with the kids, but I've been having a bit of a think about that last video where it's running with the oil filler cap off, the dipstick out and the breather pipe off as well, and to me that smoking doesn't seem enough to justify that it's going to crack piston, so I think I can rule that one out. So the next time I get a chance, I'm going to investigate the injector number 1. So it's got quite a lot of oil seepage at the top of the injector. So I'm going to take that out, just clean it up and reseed it. I'll just show you the wee trick what to do with the copper washer rather than replace it. But if you've got them handy, just replace it, because to me that is a breathing problem. You know, maybe like some sort of vacuum problem, and that's causing the oil to go down into the chamber and out the exhaust. So I don't think that's a dead engine. I really don't. I feel so positive that that's going to be a good engine, because you've seen in one of the videos when I had it running for 20 minutes, it was running perfect until I went to drive it and it was all smoky. So this is where I'm at with it just now. So I think what I'll do, I'll just keep this video going until I find out exactly what's going on, and then process it on the YouTube. But I don't think that will be the problem. I'm thinking more on the turbo, the oil seal side of things. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that I can get that running without changing the engine. I just feel like that would be a better explanation, because the 2.4s, it's not really a common occurrence with them to get cracked piston. It is possible, but it's more rare, and plus it's not giving off the impression that the pistons are cracked. So it's Thursday morning and I'm back to the grind. So fresh as a daisy today, and with a clear mind, I'm going to get stuck into this transit. But what my plan is to remove the first injector, possibly the second, I'm not sure. I will have a look when I strip this out. Okay, so the injector plug, you just push this wee button down and tilt it ever so slightly, bring it out. Okay, so at the leak off, there's this little plastic thing that comes out, and There we go, it's come off. Okay, so once you get your leak off pipes off, there's a little plastic cover here. You just move these two levers across and then that lifts up. And once you've got the plastic cover off, it exposes an 8mm which holds the injector bracket on. 17mm for the injectors. So what I tend to do is just loosen this here one up here so that I can swing that out of the way. I'll not be taking it right off if I need to. Right, so that one is able to just move out of the way. In, 8mm. Nice and easy. So once that bolts off, you can just lift the bracket off. Okay. And then it will just be a case of persevering with this injector to get it out. Because you really don't want to break the rocker cover neither when you're removing this. Okay, so here we go. One oily spec injector. So I'm going to get the washer off this. Okay, injectors all cleaned up and looking pretty good. I'm going to remove the little copper washer here and I'll show you a little trick about reseating them. So the little copper washer at the top, I've already got this loosened just for video purposes, but you just pry it off with a wee tiny screwdriver, just being very gentle, and then once you have it off, just give that one a wee clean. But down here it's soot deposits, if you give that a little clean as well, just making sure it's nice and clean. Okay, when the washer to grip onto, so whenever you tilt it upside down it's gonna drop. So what I tend to do is with the mold grip is get it at each side and just compress it ever so slightly, and that will hold it in place. Okay, so that's it built back up again. I'm not holding up much hope for this, but all I can do is try. It's still smoky as heck and there is still a lot of oil coming from the exhaust, so I'm going to take the turbo off now. So just whenever you are doing this, just so you can prepare, these are 15mm, so you've got 4 of them. Then round here you've got 3 13mm, so you've got one round here and it's basically like a triangle, so you've got one down there and one at the back. At the front of the turbo you have a pipe that goes up to your induction, so this is your induction pipe, that's 2 10mm to hold that one in place. Then your oil feed pipe at the top, that's an 18mm. So I've got this here pipe off. The turbo is well and truly gupped. Obviously there's going to be oil there, but the propeller inside has got mega play as well, so I think it's new turbo time. So instead of rebuilding it, I had a wee look on eBay, right, and there's a company that's selling turbos for this, brand new, for 130 quid. So if I get a rebuild kit at like 60 quid and then put my time into it, whatever, you know, I would say 130 quid's well spent. They're basically telling you you've got a manufacturer's warranty for 2 years as well for defects. So the little oil feed at the back is an 8mm, so you've got two 8mm as well. See, whenever you're taking the nuts off the manifold, there's one that's hard to get to. You'll no get to it with a ratchet. So just if you're lucky enough to have a ratchet spanner, use one of them. So you're better getting it with a spanner at the back of it. But as soon as I get this here, bottom one off here, that's the turbo ready to come off. So it's as easy as that. And also on the exhaust side of the turbo, I had to use my map torch. I need to heat these for approximately a minute each. Obviously a minute, and then tackling that one, a minute, tackling that one. So a minute of heat, then tackle it, a minute of heat, then tackle it, and so on and so forth. Oh, and also the 10mm up here holding this bracket on, and then that will allow you to lift it off this way without having to disrupt the exhaust. And also down here we've got the turbo clip to take off the bottom of the turbo as well, just so you go. So here we are, the turbo is off. The propeller is hanging clean out of it. Definitely be a good shout changing this anyway. And we'll get this here piped off here because I couldn't get to it. I'll just start the ring off. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to separate this here because I'm quite curious to see what the deal is on this here side of it as well. So good news, I've got to the bottom of the problem on the oil side of the turbo. The propeller has basically disintegrated. It's actually back. Came right off. And there's lots of to play in this as well. So a new turbo is currently on its way, and hopefully we'll have another running tranny back on the road. Here we go, it's a new turbo, just out the wrapper. We'll get it open. Hey, so here we go, brand spanking new turbo, and I would say, see, for the money, it's well spent. So just start by taking all the little caps off. So we get 2 years out of this. We're jamming. Now you're always going to get a little bit of play on a new turbo, but obviously nothing major. So I was quite impressed with the gasket kit that came with the turbo. However, there should be a threaded dowel, because you can never get the threaded dowel off the old turbo. So it would have been good if they actually sent that with it, but they haven't. So I'm kind of up a creek without a paddle, but hoping that I can maybe get a bolt in just about without too much effing and jeffing. Okay, so that's the oil feed pipe into it, so just got to drop it down gently and then start building it back up again. That's it placed on. Now bear in mind, the gasket can only go one way, so just be careful when you're putting it on. Make sure you've got it the right way, because you don't want to go to this extent to getting it all lined up and the gasket isn't the right way round, because you need to bring it all out and faff it about. So just keep that in mind for time. Right, that's all up top, built up, and the only thing I've left disconnected is the exhaust, just so that I can see what comes out. Now, the only other thing is, see that oil feed pipe, I went to put that on, but it doesn't want to seem to seat into place. So I think I should have really put that in before bolting all the rest of it up. So I'm going to bend it slightly so that it fits in. This here's the one in question, up here. I can't get it seated in, so I'll need to bend it and try and get it up in, because I ain't taking that turbo back off. That's it seated in place, turbo's all back together again. All I need to do is drain the sump, because I drained the oil at the beginning and filled it with diesel. I put about 2 litres of diesel in it and ran it just to give the engine a flush. So it'll just be a case of getting that dirty diesel out of it and getting a new oil filter and oil on it, and then we'll give it a start. Okay, so that is the oil change done and the filter on, so all I've got to do now is get it started and we'll see what's what with it. So by the looks of it, that's it sorted. There's no oil coming out the bottom of that turbo. So I'm going to get that catalytic converter back on it and take it a run, and we're going to get all the oil out of that exhaust, because bear in mind it was pigging with oil. So we're just going to take it a good run and hope for the best. Hopefully it's bursting and that. But aye, from a seized engine to running sweet as a nut. So I think if my hands weren't so dirty, I would be giving myself a pat in the back. So this is up and running. There still is oil coming out the exhaust, but I'm hoping that that is just oil that's lying in the exhaust. I'm going to take it a run now. Maybe not the best idea, but I need to get it away from here. It's definitely not as smoky as what it used to be, so fingers crossed. She's reeking. Here we go, from seized transit to a running transit. Woohoo! But I'm hoping the reekiness will go away. This is savage. So I'm just going to take it out a longer drive, and so far there's no smoke. Obviously it's going to be different when I go up hills and stuff, but it seems alright. I'm actually quite impressed of how well this van actually drives, consider what it's went through, because that could have been catastrophic, and I think it was just on the verge of destruction. Initially I was thinking it was hydrolocked, but obviously it can't be hydrolocked. It seized up because it had no oil in the system. It scooted out all the oil and then disintegrated the turbines in the turbo. So obviously earlier on in the video I said it was hydrolocked. Well, it wasn't, it was seized. And surprisingly I've got it de-seized without it needing piston rings or pistons or flipping a rebuild. I think it's just been on that verge. I've surprised myself, so I just didn't want to give up on it so quickly. I had an engine lined up for it, but I thought, well, what have I got to lose? And I spoke to one of my friends, and he's a very, very good sounding board when it comes to vans, and that's what he said to me. He says just persevere with it, because it could be anything. And there it was seized, and the turbo had caused it. So at least it's positive. I'm just going to take it a good run, and hopefully that will be enough to kind of clear the exhaust a bit, get rid of a kind of oily smell. Although it's not pissing out oil, it's still got that oil, yucky oil in the exhaust. But I would say that is a positive result, and I'm so happy that it's running. I'm driving it. You know, I'm just going to go and check the oil and check all the wee bits and pieces before I go out onto the motorway. But you guys take care, and I'll catch you in the next video, because I'm buzzing, I'm happy, I've got a running transit, and yeah, so you guys take care, and I'll catch you in the next video.